Nice to see you again, Paul Marsh.
Great, welcome back. It's always good to catch up.
Absolutely.
We've had a lot of fun, and thank you for all the people who watch us and support us. And yeah, it's about, here's the man behind the camera more often than not, and you get to see him, and we have a great rapport with what we've shared, and we have a lot of fun. And I think that's what it's about, you know.
That's what it's all about.
Always.
And we've come to Land Cruiser heaven here at your secret lair. What's going on here, Mr. Marsh?
Well, you're going to see Land Rover banners.
We're going to have to blur that out.
Not at all. No, this is actually a workshop that belongs to a very good friend of mine. He's not using it at the moment. So I'm storing vehicles. You know, COVID has actually hit the ability for people to come in and use their vehicles. And it's quite sad because most of these trucks are prepared for big expeditions and the owners are waiting to fly in to use them. So right now, you know, I'm sitting packing here and a couple of other places where we're storing vehicles for clients to the point when it all opens up and they can actually come in and go and travel.
Must be really frustrating when you've dropped a fair amount of money on a truck and you just can't get into it.
Look, I think for a lot of people that is frustrating, for sure. You know, you've spent a lot of money, it's sitting there, but also the knowledge that your truck is looked after. I mean, I come regularly, I start the cars. The cars are always, well, they're not on axle stands now because I've been moving and shuffling around, but they all go back up on axle stands, the batteries get charged up, we disconnect them, the tanks are full, no food in the car. So, you know, we do look after the cars for people to store them, and that's always important if you're storing your car.
Proper storage is a key talking point.
Yeah, you know, if you've got a vehicle you've spent a lot of money on, you want to know that wherever you're storing it, it's being looked after. So from my perspective, I like to make sure that when the trucks come in, they're cleaned. If they need a service, we'll service it before the clients come out and pick up the cars. We'll make a list of all the points that they need to sort out on the car. We'll just make sure that, you know, you're giving your car with all your equipment and it's looked after, it's safe. We get people to make lists of what kit is in the car, take photographs, make a list of what work they want to do to the car, so that while they're away, this can all happen. And when they fly back in, you want to pick up your car and you want to go traveling.
Have you noticed an uptick in people want to get out there? Are you getting a lot of overseas customers?
Look, people want to get out there hands down. I'm getting a lot of clients from overseas looking at building vehicles now while they can't travel, but in the anticipation of traveling. And I can see that it's a great opportunity. People have got time on their hands, people are thinking about, actually people are not just thinking about what they want to do, people are taking a different perspective on how they want to travel. You know, I think with COVID, it's certainly teaching us a lot more about what we want in our lives.
And what we don't want in our lives.
What we don't want, yeah, it's true. And I think what we want for a lot of people is the ability to go and travel and take the time we have and really use it mindfully, you know. And that's where putting a vehicle together and having it ready and available so that they can start planning when things will come right. For sure they will. It's going to take time, we don't know when, but at least we know that in good time it's going to sort itself out. And then you want your vehicle ready. You want to be able to get in, do some refresher training, because, you know, when we store the cars, mostly when you're storing a car, if we talk about that for a minute, you know, you want to get the vehicle on axle stands so the weight of this car is not sitting on the tires, because sitting for a prolonged...
we'll be looking at 3 ton on some of these.
Yeah, well, you know, when the tire is not moving and it's sitting static, excuse me, for a month, 2 months, 3 months, that's not good for tires. You know, you get flat spots that distorts the tire. So, in my mind, I put it up on axle stands. You know, make sure that your batteries are fully charged. Make sure that you've got absolutely no perishable food in the car. Because, you know, we don't want rodent problems in here.
I know, do you ever leave some milk in the fridge and you get there 6 months later?
No, well, your fridges are, you know, you want to empty your fridges, clean them and leave them open. Little things, you know, it's an opportunity. Get the car sorted, get it organized, make sure that anything that is a problem you've made a note of, because you forget. You come back after your trip, you've got all the intentions of things you want to do to the car, problems you want to fix, and unless you write that down, there's your opportunity. So I ask people when they come in, I say, give me a list of what you want sorting out, what are the niggles, what are the problems, and then we go through the car mechanically, do like a post-expedition service, and then again a checkup before they go. And yeah, that's looks after the car.
And that holy grail Paul Marsh checklist. There's been a lot. There's been a lot of talk about that. Are you going to be publishing that at any stage?
It's I do share my list with my clients who work with me for sure, because a list is relevant to what you've done to the vehicle. People often ask me and they say, oh, I want a list of what spares to take, and I'm going to go, what have you done to the vehicle? What have you actually done to prepare your vehicle for the trip you're going to go on? What parts have you changed and what haven't you changed? Because that's going to affect the list. So I work a lot with lists, and it helps people because when you've got a vehicle that you put in storage and you haven't used it for months, you come back out and you forget either what's in the car, or you forget some of the checks you should do, or you forget how to do some things, use a high lift jack. So having a little list or a little, and I encourage people to do that. I say, each vehicle is different, and there's certain things on your car which you should just have a little book and just make notes on how things work, what they do, what you need to remember. And then when you come back from not using the car for a long period of time, you can just refresh your mind quickly. And it's great.
Absolutely.
I do that so I fly paramotors. I love it. It's one of my big passions.
Any spills?
Oh yeah. You don't get to fly a paramotor without having a few learning curves. And that's my happy place, is to be able to get into the sky, and that's, I have a vehicle that just keeps my kit in. And it's exactly the same. Every time I fly and I learn something, or I make a mistake, or I make a list of notes and checks. And then before I fly the next time, I review. And especially if I haven't flown for a while. So you just really you're building your confidence up.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you're going to get in a car and you're going to go driving. We drive cars every day. You don't kind of fly paramotors every day or ride motorbikes every day. So if you haven't done something like that, it just helps. So there's lists for first aid, equipment, what you do and don't take. And again, that's another. So I use a list like that for my clients. Not to give someone a list and say this is the ultimate list of what you have to take, because there isn't an ultimate list. Everyone's got their own take on what they will want to carry in their vehicle, and it becomes personal. But when you've got an overall idea to look over, and I'll start by saying to people, what do you think you need to take on a trip? What's important? Let's start with what do you need for the vehicle? And then I get a good understanding of what their thought is. Some of them have got good experience. Some of them have researched massively, which can be dangerous.
Can you over-research?
Yeah, you can. And I think I never take away research for people. Research is very healthy to do, because I learn from people doing research and coming back to me with new ideas, thoughts, whatever. But I do feel that sometimes it adds a complexity of confusion to what people want to do. There's so many opinions out there, and they're not all right and they're not all wrong. But when you're going to try and distill all that information into what's right for you, you need to absolutely have an ability or use someone who can actually help you work through what is your scenario, how are you going to travel, what vehicle have you got, and then take the information that you found and go, that's my budget, that's what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to make it work.
Instead of spending a bunch of cash in the front end and figuring out you don't have anything or you got too much.
Yeah, and also, I think I've covered this in the past with some of the talks I've done. It's very important if you're going to approach someone for advice, or you want to find out about equipment, that you understand their experience. Because otherwise someone's selling you something because they're selling it. And they may be very passionate about what they're selling it for a good reason. Is it right for you? There's the question.